The right to breathe remains our continuous focus here on Breaking Ground and on NDTV 24/7. This morning, the National Capital Region woke up to dense fog, leading to poor visibility across many areas. Near zero visibility from dense fog combined with severe air pollution has also disrupted both road and air traffic in the National Capital Region. An orange alert has been issued for the Delhi NCR region. Air quality remains in the severe plus category, breaching the 456 mark across parts of the national capital. With Grap stage 4 measures in place, truck entry into Delhi is restricted except for essential services and CNG LNG vehicles, while construction and demolition activities remain banned across the region. Over 320 flights have been delayed because of thick smog in Delhi. As of now, 40 cancellations have been reported, with 108 Indigo flights to and fro Delhi being cancelled. Airlines have urged passengers to allow additional time while planning their journey to the airport, as road traffic may be slower than usual due to this toxic haze. Anushka is joining me live from New Delhi. Tanushka also joining me live. Our reporters bringing you all the aspects. Anushka, I'm going to come to you first, and I'm glad you're wearing that mask because your health is equally important here on NDTV and Breaking Ground. I want to understand from you what you've seen ever since early morning. You've been reporting on this toxic haze around you. Tell us more about it, especially at the crack of dawn. Could you see anything around you?
That's right, Vedika. While we saw that early in the morning, the visibility was reported around 50 meters. Now we are seeing that there is a slight improvement in the visibility. We did see that several of the flights were delayed and cancelled because of the reduced visibility that was seen early in Delhi NCR today. Also, if we talk about the AQI, it was recorded around 457. That is at the far end of the hazardous, quality. But what remains to be seen here is that several of the Graps were implemented in Delhi NCR. That is the strictest anti-pollution curbs, and still we are seeing that it fails to translate on the ground. While citizens are in fact gasping for a breath of fresh air, the elderly, the children, all of them are equally in danger right now because of the hazardous air quality that can be seen in Delhi NCR. Not just that, several of the construction demolition activities and also the workforce of the government employees in Delhi NCR has been cut short to 50%. Now we are seeing that the air quality is so bad outside that outdoor activities have been banned in Delhi. Also, many of the BS4 petrol vehicle and BS6 diesel vehicles have been banned in Delhi NCR. While we are seeing that previously the Aam Aadmi Party government was saying that they had tried their best to reduce the air quality in Delhi NCR, they had also failed, and now we are seeing in the BJP government as well, while the political slugfest continues regarding the air pollution situation, we are seeing both the governments have so far failed in correcting the AQI in Delhi NCR. We are seeing that this level of AQI is quite hazardous for everyone. Even young adults are in fact saying that they are having irritation in their eyes, headache, and several of the problems that in fact they are facing. And we are seeing that because of this, a lot of problems have been created for the people, as there's double trouble for people who are living in Delhi NCR.
And just look at our screens right now, viewers. That's what India Gate looks like when smog doesn't hit it. And look at the aftermath. After pollution and the winter season combined, bring that pollution, that smog, that toxicity into the city, into the region as well. This is not something that happens only for a week in Delhi. I'm going to go across to Tanushka in a moment from now. But before that, for our viewers, I want you to understand more about Grap 4 at this point. What is Grap 4? It's been implemented in the national capital. What does that mean for Delhi and the adjoining areas? Schools shift online except for the board exam years, which is grade 10 and grade 12. Everyone else is shifting to online classes. No truck entry into Delhi, of course, given that this adds to the smog, to the pollution on the roads. Heavy goods vehicles banned, including trucks like we just mentioned. That is something that is implemented when Grap 4 is implemented. Construction activity is halted across the National Capital Region as well at this point because of the dust particles that add to the existing problem. Work from home advisory for government employees as well. They've been asked to work from home and not take those vehicles into work for now. Private offices also to operate at 50% capacity is one of the implementations in Grap 4. So these are the big ones. Non-essential commercial activity also being curtailed. But coming back to Tanushka now, who is live with us at this point. Tanushka, what is the Delhi government saying, other than the blame game, which seems to be a script that every government, be it the Congress, the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party, we're not blaming one government here. Every government indulges in blame game every time we bring this topic up. But what is the defense from the Delhi government at this point?
Precisely, it is a political slugfest that has broken out between, of course, the BJP and the opposition, that is the Aam Aadmi Party. While the Aam Aadmi Party has been saying that the Chief Minister, Delhi Chief Minister, does not even know what the AQI is, does not even know how to pronounce it. And recently, she also called it a kind of temperature, is what Saurabh Bhardwaj has also hit out saying. The Delhi government maintains that, of course, it is taking measures, and Grap 4 being invoked is one of the, decisions that was taken by Delhi government to keep the pollution scenario in check in Delhi. However, how far is it faring is yet to be seen, considering that we are in the severe plus categories of air quality index since the past couple of days. Even today, many stations are seeing air quality index nearly 500 levels. And of course, talking about the dense smog that has encircled the entire Delhi NCR region, I'm currently present at Terminal 3 of Delhi Airport, wherein several flights have been cancelled. Over 100 flights have been cancelled, and over 300 flights have also been delayed. Right behind me is the display board, wherein you can see some flights have delayed, demarcated against them. We understand that around 110 Indigo flights have been cancelled so far because of the dense smog. Around 20 Air India flights have been cancelled because of the dense smog. And around 374 flights remain cancelled because of the fog. Now, this is both departure and arrival numbers that I'm giving you right here. And this is the situation. People, at the end of the day, it's again the passengers who are being inconvenienced. And this is a larger problem. The pollution is not just causing a problem in air travel at this point, but even road travel and train operations have also been hit. The situation has improved definitely from morning. It was only 50 meters visibility. Right now we are at 200 meters visibility. And through the day, if the sun comes out, then of course visibility will improve. But the meteorological department has also issued an orange alert for dense smog in the northern region of the country. So dense smog alert has been alerted also by the Met Department, and such conditions are likely to prevail because of the worsening air quality index. Back to you.
All right, I'm going to come back to you in a moment from now, but I want to also tell our viewers more about some data that we've gathered for them. Why is this pollution killer? The government says there's no data on deaths due to pollution, is their stand. Meanwhile, the Lancet report says 15 lakh extra deaths in Delhi a year due to pollution. That's no small number. It's a staggering number. Again, the government goes on to say after that no data on deaths due to pollution. But then again, you have the global burden of disease saying toxic air leading cause of deaths in Delhi. So many studies talking about this. It's not just one or two. University of Chicago study says pollution shortening lives by 10 years in Delhi. We're talking about young children. They haven't even started their lives, and this is what they're dealing with. The shortening of their lives perhaps by 10 years. That's not a small number, viewers. You have the Harvard study saying 1/3 of deaths in India every year linked to air pollution. While we're talking about Delhi, of course, it's not only this city that's facing it. There are other cities as well. But it's so loud and visible out there for everyone to see. Even for someone like Messi who enters Delhi today, it's going to be absolutely shocking to see the smog around him. I still have our reporters with us at this point. I have Anushka live with me and Tanushka. Tanushka, let's talk more about now the flight operating at this hour. Indigo also down by a number of flights because of the smog. This is an issue that hits the national capital every year. Just tell us more about how this is choking the operations of flights also into Delhi and outside Delhi.
Precisely, Vedika, as we were just mentioning here at Delhi airport, so over 100 flights have been delayed. Indigo flight numbers of delays is that of 108 flights have been cancelled, in fact, by Indigo because of the dense smog that has blanketed the atmosphere here. And Air India has also cancelled 20 flights because of the dense smog. We're given to understand that other airlines as well, like Akasa Air and all other airlines operating out of Delhi airport, such as SpiceJet as well, have issued their own travel advisories saying that flight operations have taken a hit. Flights will be cancelled because of the dense smog. And this situation, of course, prevailed mostly. So the worst hit is the intervening night flights and the very early morning flights, which are better known as the red-eye flights. So the red-eye flights always get impacted the worst. There have also been 4 diversions so far as I've been told. And these diversions also mostly take place to Jaipur airport. So these flights, instead of landing at Delhi, they're made to land at Jaipur itself because it's the closest airbase for us at this point.
All right. Thanks for joining me live. To our reporters there, stay safe, wear your masks. This isn't going to end anytime soon. And we, of course, will keep reporting on what our viewers are seeing on our screens. That graph going right up to 457. I have Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairman and MD Nephron Clinic, joining me live on Breaking Ground. Also Vimlendu Jha, environmentalist. I'm so sorry, gentlemen. You're here yet again for an issue that just fails to find a solution. So let me come to you first, Dr. Bagai. We've been showing a lot of data, a lot of statistics, and now lung cancer seems to be no longer a smoker's disease. We're all susceptible to it here in the national capital. Am I incorrect in my inference?
Good afternoon on a very, very hazy afternoon and a pretty bad morning. This is a man-made catastrophe. Let's not make any mistake about it. It's a national capital health emergency. This quality of air is incompatible with life. I want to make some very salient points over here. We need a national air control and air pollution control policy. We can't have different norms in Bombay and Delhi. Delhiites' lungs are not more resilient. To have a Grap 4 with the AQI of exceeding 400 is giving us a lot of safety margin, which is a false sense of security, because there is enough harm even done with the AQI of 200. The traffic emissions haven't decreased. It was something which could have been tackled. The road dust is abysmal. We can't keep brooming the roads like in Jurassic Park. The construction norms are up in smoke. So is the sky. Fossil fuel and wood is still being burnt all around and every nook and corner, including the flyovers of Delhi. Farm fires are still raging. Brick trails and thermal plants in the radius of 200, 300 kilometers are still functioning. The green cover, there are lots of cases pending with the NGT, and the trees are being felled. If you look at the open dhalaus and the waste management in Delhi, that's emitting a huge amount of toxic gases. To come to just simple statistics, someone mentioned that there is no data. More than 2 to 3 million Indians are lost directly because of air pollution. That's equivalent to having 16 folds the COVID deaths every year. If that doesn't hurt, I don't know what will.
That's an angry Dr. Bagai as a citizen also talking to us here on Breaking Ground. I'm going to get Mr. Jha in and then go back to Dr. Bagai. Mr. Jha, we see this happen every year, don't we? We see governments blaming each other. But if China can go ahead and resolve this issue to such a significant level, why can't India?
So Vedika, China was able to do it because it had political will. There was political urgency. The first thing that China did compared to what India has been doing or pretending to do is, India actually allocated 20,000 crores over 6 years for 130 cities, which comes to a couple of crores per year. And imagine versus what China or Beijing alone did, that it actually dedicated almost $1 billion per year for almost a decade. And that's how it actually is. The first thing is to really think that it is important to put in right investment and think of it as one of the most important investment in your budget in that sense. That's point number one. Point number two is that we all know for years together that almost 40 to 50% of pollution in Delhi NCR is because of vehicles. And exactly that was the discovery made or the analysis in Beijing as well. And what Beijing did is that actually strengthened its public transport regime. What Beijing also did is that shifted its coal thermal power plants and emission standards as well as emitting industries outside the immediate periphery of the town. And here we are, more than 15 coal thermal power plants in the immediate periphery of Delhi they don't follow the sulfur dioxide emission norms at all. Similarly, construction and demolition, roadside dust, broken road dust, everything is a mess here, and we don't really even have an environment minister in the country, or for that matter in Delhi. Also, disproportionate attention given only to the capital, Vedika, as right now what we are talking about. That Lancet says that 1.5 million people die in the country, and we a lot of times, rightly so, are obsessed only with Delhi, not even with Noida, where your studio is, or not even obsessed with Gurgaon, where I'm speaking from right now. So therefore, it's a regional problem. It's a national problem. It needs not to be discussed only in Vidhan Sabha, but actually in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in that sense.
Vimlendra, I'll come back to you in a moment. Yes, I'll come back to you in a moment, because Dr. Bagai, I want to understand from you, how is this slow poison? Maybe today we're coughing, we're sneezing, we're gasping for breath, sir. But how does this translate into a bigger medical issue for all of us living in this area?
Okay, so first of all, the AQI which is published is about 20% underreported, because these are published studies to show there is a hygroscopic nature of PM 2.5 and PM5. So it's an aggregating factor. So the actual number of particles is a lot more than what is discounted. So if you have an AQI of 500, please add 20% to it. That's the real-time data on the ground. The fact here is that heavy metals are not being spoken of. Toxic volatile gases are not being spoken of. Methane, carbon monoxide, SOx, NOx. Micro nanoplastic particles are not being spoken of, and heavy metals with nanoplastics spray even
and
greater damage to the body.
And how is that impacting us? In the long term, how does it impact us, doctor?
Yeah, so I'll give you statistics, and these are all published data. There are more than 7,000 studies, more than 2,000 studies which are India-centric, which includes Lancet, New England Journal of Medicine, and British Medical Journal, and JAMA. It causes almost 100% increase in cancer. So what we are going to be looking at in the next 10 years is a huge avalanche of lung cancers, brain cancers, stomach cancers, prostatic cancers, and uterine cancers. It's a 200% increase in arrhythmias, heart attacks, strokes. It causes sudden cardiac arrest at home. Talk of mental health in terms of cognitive disability going down, gastrointestinal defects. The pregnancies are being affected. And can you believe it? Even 1 year before preconception, a young lady's DNA is being damaged. Babies are being born with congenital malformations. Babies are being born with structural abnormalities, kidneys, immune functions, allergies, eyes, skin. You name the organ and it is being affected.
All right.
We need this on a war footing. I would request a separate ministry from the Modi government to tackle this. If we can tackle COVID, we can overcome air pollution.
Vimlendu, last word with you. How do we make this go on to a war footing without blame games? What can we do very quickly? I just have 90 seconds left.
I think, Vedika, what the proposal to discuss it in the parliament and think of this as the most important debate, most important issue is very, very important, because I am of the firm belief that we can't find private solution to public problems. And if public solution has to be found to this public disaster, health disaster there is, it can only be done at the highest level, which is at the Prime Minister's level, and at a bipartisan, non-partisan level, at the level of our parliament. And I think the parliament session is on. Hope they wake up to this crisis, this emergency, or this gas chamber or biological warfare that we all are going through.
Right. Mr. Jha, thank you so much for joining me. Dr. Bagai, good to see you on Breaking Ground. It is the intent, the political intent of the government, of our politicians sitting inside Parliament that really need to move this up to the most important priority, both inside and outside Parliament. Unless that happens, this is what you're going to see, viewers. This is what you're going to live with, and you're going to live with this for a decade to come, after which you don't know what you're going to be suffering from, be it cancer or any of the other ailments that Dr. Bagai just mentioned. This is a national war that needs to be fought on war footing. This is an emergency, and we don't know how to underscore it any further. But you have Congress MP moving a adjournment motion in Parliament, seeking a debate on the Delhi air crisis, and that political slugfest unfortunately continues.
बहुत ज़्यादा हद से ज़्यादा खराब हो गया है और हम लोगों को डिस्कस करना चाहिए। मैं आज वो डिस्कशन का परमिशन भी मतलब का वो लगाऊंगी नोटिस।
सर, लगातार विपक्ष की मांग है कि एयर पोल्यूशन पर डिस्कशन कराए और जो एनवायरनमेंट मिनिस्टर है वो स्टेटमेंट दे। किस तरीके से देख रहे हैं आज बड़ा ज़्यादा एयर पोल्यूशन नज़र आ रहा है दिल्ली में?
देखिए, अगर वर्तमान पोल्यूशन की बात करें तो इसका सीधा दारोमदार अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार पर है, जो 10 साल दिल्ली में जिन्होंने शासन किया लेकिन प्रदूषण पर एक भी कदम नहीं उठाया। इसके कारण से दिल्ली बदहाल स्थिति में पहुंच गई। वर्तमान में हमारी सरकार जब से दिल्ली में बनी है तब तक सारे कदम हम उठा रहे हैं पॉल्यूशन कम करने के, लेकिन 10 साल में जितनी बदहाली होगी उसको ठीक करने में थोड़ा समय ज़रूर लगेगा। और इस नाते से दिल्ली के लोगों को स्वच्छ वातावरण मिले और स्वच्छ हवा मिले, ये हमारी प्रतिबद्धता है और इस काम को हम जल्द से जल्द पूरा करें।
सदन में चर्चा करने के लिए सरकार बिल्कुल तैयार है।
अगर उन्होंने देखिए, सरकार ने बार बार स्पष्ट किया है हम हर मुद्दे पर सदन में चर्चा करने को तैयार हैं। अगर वो कोई नोटिस देंगे और जो भी माननीय स्पीकर महोदय का जो भी रूलिंग होगी उसके हिसाब से सदन में चर्चा होगी।
2019 में मैंने 193 फाइल की थी और लोकसभा में इसकी बहस शुरू की थी। पिछले 6 साल में प्रदूषण और भीषण हो गया है और इस परिस्थिति को निपटने के लिए मैंने इस शीतकालीन सत्र में दोबारा से 193 फाइल की है। एयर पोल्यूशन को प्राथमिकता पे लोकसभा को डिस्कस करने।
पोल्यूशन दिल्ली में और आसपास में बढ़ रहा है, इसको लेकर एक डीप स्ट्रेटेजी प्लान दिल्ली सरकार बना रही है और शॉर्ट टर्म के जो भी उपाय हैं उनके ऊपर भी काम हो रहा है। दिल्ली सरकार पूरा प्रयत्न कर रही है, लेकिन पूरी स्टडी करके इसके इफेक्टिव स्टेप उठाने की तैयारी में दिल्ली सरकार है। तो जल्दी ही जनता को इसके बारे में उठाए हुए कदम और जो भी हम काम करेंगे उसकी जानकारी दी जाएगी।
प्रदूषण का स्तर ये है कि आप बंद कमरे में हैं तब भी चारों तरफ धुंध छाई हुई है, कमरों के अंदर तक जो है स्मॉग दिख रही है। और उससे भी बड़ी दुर्भाग्य की बात यह है कि दिल्ली वाले किसकी तरफ देखें कि इसके अंदर कुछ किया जाएगा। उस मुख्यमंत्री की तरफ जिनको AQI भी नहीं बोलना आता, वो मुख्यमंत्री जो कहते हैं कि AQI और टेम्परेचर एक चीज़ है, वो मुख्यमंत्री जो कहते हैं कि AQI को तो किसी भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट से नापा जा सकता है, वो मुख्यमंत्री जो ये कह रही हैं कि AQI को कम करने का एक ही तरीका है कि पानी की छिड़काव करी जाए। मतलब आप सोचिए, दिल्ली देश की राजधानी की ऐसी मुख्यमंत्री 4 साल तक क्या उम्मीद करेंगे कि आप ये मुख्यमंत्री कुछ कर पाएगी। बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात है।